Hello everyone, welcome to the YouTube channel of Loya College. Today we are going to discuss an essay Selected Snobberies by Aldous Huxley. Aldous Huxley was a British writer. He was born in 1894 and died in 1963. Although he was primarily a novelist, he also wrote short stories, poems, and travelogues. In his novels and essays, Huxley has performed the role of a critical observer of accepted traditions, customs, social norms, and ideals. His major works dealt with the theme of harmful application of scientific progress to mankind. He was educated at Balliol College, Oxford University. He became a close friend of famous novelist D.H. Lawrence. His first popular novel was Point Counterpoint. In 1938, he joined Hollywood and became a screenwriter. His major works include Eyeless in Gaza, Brave New World, Ants and Means, etc. Now come to the essay Selected Snobberies. Aldous Huxley discusses human frailties in this essay. He says that snobberies are universal. Snob is a one who despises, ignores, or patronizes those he or she considers inferior. One who is convinced of his or her superiority in matter of taste or intellect. And what is snobbery? Snobbery is the habit of treating other people as inferior. Huxley says that snobberies snobberies change like fashion. Snobberies of past are now taken as outdated. He talks about different types of snobberies in this essay, like disease snobbery, family snobbery, culture snobbery, booze snobbery, modernity snobbery, and art snobbery. He states that in the inception or beginning of the essay, he says that all men are snobbish about something or other. Therefore, one can always presume that there is nothing around us that modern men do not feel snobbish about it. This may sound as an exaggeration, as no one feels snobbish about that disfiguring and mortal disease called leprosy. In disease snobberies, he says that leprosy is exception to this snobbery. No one feels snobbish about it. Disease of rich people, on the contrary, disease of rich people, whether they are more dangerous or less dangerous, can be a source of snobbish importance. He says that uh, he has met several young men who considered it romantic to be consumption snubs and die young, and justified their snubbery with the examples of Keats and Mary Bashkirtseff, who too died young due to consumptions. He further says that unfortunately, contrary to their romantic idea, the final stages of these consumption serves are indeed very tragic. Anyone who has ever witnessed their deaths would definitely find these young snubs' poetic conception of consumption as pretty repulsive and pathetic. He next discuss about family snobbery and says that family snobbery is no longer in vogue. Nobody feels snobbish about his clan or ancestry in a modern industrial society anymore. The rise of nuclear family and self independence during the industrial period was a threat to traditional ideas of ancestry and kinship. So, this snobbery is on decline. Next, he talks about culture snobbery and states that culture snobbery has to fight with snobbery of ignorance and stupidity. Next, Booth's snobbery. He says that it is very pervasive in this modern era. What is Booth's snobbery? The snobbishness expressed through addiction to alcoholic drinks is Booth's snobbery. Next, modernity snobbery. Modernity snobbery has acquired importance due to economic reasons. A modernity snob helps the industrialists by throwing away old objects and buying the new ones. The producers thus encourage this snobbery by spending millions on advertisement. Another popular one is art snobbery that can be further divided into two parts, platonic and unplatonic. Platonic art snobs merely take an interest in art. Unplatonic art snubs, on the contrary, go further and actually buy art. It is simultaneously a subspecies of culture snobbery and of possession snobbery. In this essay, Huxley is of the view that snobberies are valuable as they encourage activity, demand incessant efforts, and series of sacrifices from the snobs. However, all snobberies cannot be approved. A person has to adopt a mean between the two and give his consent for those snobberies which encourage better activity and reject the others. Huxley concludes by stating that the choice of snobbery depends upon one's individual interests. Thanks.